let bacteria embarrass you. Use Closure, we get antibacterial zinc. Closure, it go help you fight mouth odor where bacteria they cause.
From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Melinda Akilami.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, Governor Hyacinth Alia suspends all mining activities to curb rising insecurity in Benue. State government inaugurates marshals for the revalidation of all legal miners. 2 police officers killed while on patrol in Okigwe, Edo State, as Defense Headquarters declares the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, and 96 others across the country wanted for terrorism. Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State holds town hall meeting with residents, pledges inclusive governance as his administration strives to transform the state. And death toll from the attack on the Crocus City Hall during a packed concert in Russia rises to at least 133, with over 140 injured.
And on business news tonight, Nigeria's foreign exchange reserve pauses its 5-week accretion trend as a gross level falls to $96 million week on week.
On sports news tonight, Team Nigeria finishes in second position as the curtain falls on the 13th edition of the African Games held in Ghana. Much of the insecurity challenges facing the country has been traced to the activities of illegal miners. The situation in Benue is no less worrisome, but Governor Hyacinth Alia is wielding the big stick and has suspended all mining activities in the state until the security situation around the site improves. The governor gave the order when he met with members of the Benue State chapter of the Miners Association of Nigeria in Makurdi. The state government has also inaugurated mining marshals to work with the Minerals Resources and Environmental Committee to revalidate all legal miners in the state.
Last weekend, 15 trailer loads of lithium and barite were confiscated in Kwande local government area of Benue State over alleged tax evasion. In a move to check the activities of illegal miners, Governor Hyacinth Alia convenes a meeting with miners in the state where he reads the Riot Act.
When those unknown gunmen and the bandits are caught, all they talk relates mining, that they've not come to land grab, they've not come to disturb anyone, they've just come to give security to those who are mining. Who has brought them to the state? I am, therefore, calling for a moratorium of mining activities in the state as I'm speaking here. So there should be no mining activities in the state. I love you. I love your lives to be preserved.
The miners, however, have some concerns.
I can accept that. Second time, I still can accept that. Governor seized our truck. But the third time, and this time seize our truck again, I don't know. This, well, so far, these 4 times, we lost money. You know what? That the old truck owner, he can charge me plenty money.
Having listened to the governor's inaugural speech,
to address the twin problems of illegal mining and insecurity, the Deputy Governor, Mr. Sam Ode, inaugurates the mining marshals to curb illegal mining in the state.
As I inaugurate the mining marshals, they will carry out their functions in conjunction with Miremco, and among other objectives, promote, project, and defend the interests of the people of Benue State and the affairs of the state in general, mostly as it pertains illegal mining activities and the protection of lives and property around the mining sites.
The task of the mining marshals is to identify and fish out illegal miners, apprehend, investigate, and prosecute all culpable suspects, while at the same time giving protection to legal mining and mining industries.
The government also plans to revalidate all licensed miners through the Mineral Resources and Environment Management Committee.
When they go out in that site, carry out illegal mining activities, they do not even make royalty payment at the cadastre. And because of non-payment, the 13% derivative that the state government is supposed to benefit therefrom is denied by the federal government because no payment is coming from us, even though we have 34 minerals out of 46 mineral deposits in the nation.
The state hopes to use the revalidation exercise to scrutinize data of miners to check insecurity in the state.
Meanwhile, the management of the Obafemi Awolowo University, OAU, is asking the federal government to revoke licenses purportedly issued to 11 companies to mine mineral resources on its land in Osun State. Reacting to Channels Television's inquiry into reports of encroachment of illegal miners on the institution's landed properties, the spokesperson of the institution, Mr. Abiodun Olariwaju, said the federal government had issued 8 licenses and 3 prospective licenses to miners without due consultation with the school's management. In a letter addressed to the Director of Mining Office in Abuja, the Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Adedayo Bamire, states, "I wish to inform your good officers that the university is unaware of these approved licenses or leases and the ones under processing. The university has not leased any of its land or issued any consent letter or signed any agreement with any individual group or company whatsoever." The Vice-Chancellor maintains that the government-owned institution sits on a land acquired and vested on the university by the government. On that basis, the university is asking that the mining licenses or leases be revoked by the mining office in Abuja and abort any such under processing. The Edo State Police Command says 2 police officers attached to Mopol 18 have been killed by suspected gunmen, while 4 others survived the attack. In a statement, the command spokesperson, Mr. Henry Okoye, explained that the officers were ambushed in the early hours of today while on patrol duties along the Old Garaki Road in Okigwe by bandits who threw dynamite on their patrol vehicle and engaged them in a gunfight. The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Aboki Danjuma, alongside 2 commanders, led operatives of the Special Tactical Unit to the crime scene and directed them to go all out with other security agencies and hunt down the attackers. The Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Okigwe, the DPO, and other tactical units deployed to the area have also been ordered to embark on visibility patrol and raids of criminal hideouts to prevent any future occurrence. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force says it has arrested 5 suspects allegedly responsible for the gruesome murder of 6 policemen in Ororo Forest in Ugeli North local government area of Delta State. A statement by the force public relations officer, Mr. Muiwa Adejobi, explains that the victims fell to an ambush by armed assailants while undertaking a mission to investigate the disappearance and rescue their colleagues in that forest. It adds that while 6 others are currently missing in action, the police force will honor the slain officers, as the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Ebetoku, has ordered the immediate payment of entitlements to their families. The Kaduna State Police Command has also made a breakthrough It says a notorious bandit leader and suspected mastermind of the burning of St. Raphael's Catholic Church in Zango Ketaf local government has been arrested. In a statement, the command spokesperson, ASP Amansir Hassan, explains that the suspect, Yakubu Seidu, was arrested on Thursday by police operatives at Zango Urban in Zango Ketaf local government area. In other security matters, the defense headquarters in Abuja has declared one of the leaders of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Mr. Simon Ekpa, and 96 others wanted across the country. While 43 of them are from the northwest, 33 are from the northeast, and 21 from the north central and southeast. In a banner displaying the pictures of the suspects and confirmed by the Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, the Defense Headquarters explains that it declared the 97 persons wanted for terrorism, violent extremism, and threats against the state. Mr. Ekpa is credited with the declaration and enforcement of the Monday sit-at-home order in the southeast region. He was also reported to have been arrested and later released in February in Finland, where he resides, after threatening that the 2023 general elections would not hold in the southeast. To Enugu State, where Governor Peter Mbah is promising residents that his government will do all it takes to deliver quality and all-inclusive governance. Governor Mbah made this commitment at a town hall meeting with the residents, explaining that his government is poised to transform education and health sector and increase literacy rate and reduce maternal mortality drastically as well. He reiterated that he will continue to provide an enabling environment for business to thrive.
It's the first town hall meeting between the Enugu State government and the people of the state. The agenda is to discuss the issues of governance since the administration of Mr. Peter Mbah was sworn in on May 29, 2023. This event is being broadcast live with representatives from practically all sectors in the state, including those living with disability already seated. Governor Mbah and his team make their way into the hall. He begins the conversation with what is being done in the education sector.
We have included the early child learning in all our smart schools. So the smart schools provides opportunity for us to get our children from age 3 and put them through the pipeline of learning, where we expose them to nursery, to pre-primary 1, pre-primary 2, before they now get to the elementary 1.
Next, Governor Mbah addresses the issue of healthcare delivery, detailing how the government plans to handle that.
In health, we're also doing something radical there. We're building currently 260 primary health, level 2 primary health care centers. And this again will be across the entire 260 wards in Enugu State. We've started, already awarded a contract of 30, and we're just about to award additional 100. And then before the end of this year, we would be sure to have the entire 260 Type 2 primary health care centers across all our wards.
After the governor's presentation, it's time for the people to have their say on what affects them.
Sir, I wish to know the situation of persons with disabilities under your administration, considering the already existing Enugu State Distribution Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act of 2023 that supposed to establish Enugu State Disability Commission for the sake of welfare and integration of persons with disabilities into state affairs.
For the women, enlightenment and reorientation must be prioritized in the fight against maternal and child mortality.
Enlightenment is the veritable tool for mitigation of some social ills. If we cite these things without these women coming to assess it, it will avail us nothing. Now, according to the scripture, a particular man said, "How will I understand if nobody teaches me?" What are the plans in place to sensitize these women to start using these health facilities?
As the governor responds to all questions, assuring them of commitments to tackling every challenge, He wants the people to play their part to enable government to make tremendous progress in rebuilding the state.
The Chief of Staff to the River State Governor, Mr. Edison Ehie, is challenging the State House of Assembly on the passage into law of the repealed House of Assembly Service Commission Bill after overriding the power of the governor at its plenary on Friday. The law has repealed, took away the power of the governor to appoint the chairman and members of the State House of Assembly Service Commission and vested it on the Assembly. Mr. Ehie, who was a contender for the speakership of the House during the recent political crisis, said the State House of Assembly lacks the power to do so. He argued that the provision in the State House of Assembly Service Commission Amendment Law 2024 seeking to vest that power on the House is a clear contravention of the 1999 Constitution and a nullity in the eyes of the law. In part two, after the break, Gombe State steps up infrastructural drive with an initiative to construct a minimum of 100 kilometers of roads in each of the 11 local government areas of the state. That's in a moment.
You order anything you want, and when you receive it, you celebrate it with your whole body. Because when that tasty grilled chicken is here, the weekend starts. The ingredients for your favorite recipe just in time. And when the cake arrives, the party is on. Because receiving anything on Global deserves a dance. Download the app, order anything you want, and track it minute by minute until it arrives. Global, order anything, we deliver in minutes.
Do you know that you can now print all your essential items for events without even having to leave your home? It's the Cast Print Combo Deal for all events. Yes! Weddings, conferences, birthdays, burials, etc. Starting from 495,000 Naira only. You get 50 invites, 50 A2 size posters, 50 16-page brochures, 1 large backdrop banner, 1 roll-up banner, 50 jotters with pens, and 50 souvenir carrier bags. Whatever event you're planning, we can adjust to your budget and quantities. Just send your pictures and other information through WhatsApp, and we shall send a design for your approval. Approve your design, and we will produce with super high-quality digital print technology. We can even arrange delivery to your location. Call us now on 0913-156-5016 or 0812-794-9323 or visit our social media pages. Cast Prints, digital printing at super speed.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, coming to you live on Channels Television Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Governor Hyacinth Alia suspends all mining activities to curb rising insecurity in Benue. State government inaugurates marshals for the validation of all legal miners. 2 police officers killed while on patrol in Okigwe, Edo State, as Defense Headquarters declares a leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, and 96 others across the country wanted for terrorism. Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State holds town hall meeting with residents, pledges inclusive governance as his administration strives to transform the state. And death toll from the attack on Caucus City Hall during a packed concert in Russia rises to at least 133, with over 140 injured. Paved roads are the arteries through which economic and social activities flow and succeed. This is according to Governor Inuwa Yahaya at the launch of the Network 11100, an initiative to construct a minimum of 100 kilometers of road in each of the 11 local government areas of Gombe State. The governor explains that the idea is to ease the movements of goods, people, and services within and outside the state.
Good road infrastructure is one of the trappings of a developed society. Well-designed, constructed roads improve people's quality of life by reducing travel time, expediting business activities through seamless movement of goods, people, and services, thereby enhancing interconnectedness and bolstering up security of lives and property. The Gombe State government plans to construct a minimum of 100 kilometers of roads in each of the 11 local government areas of the state. The plan is to link villages and markets to the city centers to unlock the potential in the state.
Every local government that you go now, there's work that we are doing it now. We have been linking this village to another, this local government to another, this village to another. This is what we have been doing. So we have even started finishing the work in some roads. See, every local government in this state, every local government, there's no local government that have not constructed more than 60 kilometers, 65 kilometers in all of the local governments, either township or linking roads.
The road infrastructure is also impacting the fight against insecurity in the state.
May I have seen a police patrolling a particular area? It gives the members of the public a sense of safety, and they always appreciate to see police patrols. And all this one is as a result of the good road network that we are having in the state. So it is something very, very important, and we need it for us to succeed and to do our work smoothly and to the benefit of every member of the public.
For residents of the state, the initiative is impacting their livelihood.
We now have eased in transportation of guinea corn, grains, medical services, education materials down.
With the coming of this road, a lot of these farming activities and other economic activities are now flourishing without any hitches.
As hundreds of kilometers of asphalted roads continue to connect farms to markets and homes to hospitals and schools, opening up Gombe State to a world of opportunities, the administration hopes to do more to improve the infrastructure in the state.
The Yobe State government says it's set to become the first state in Nigeria to domesticate the national policy on internally displaced persons after 12 years. This is according to the secretary to the state government, Baba Malam Wali, who represented the governor at a special session with development partners. He said the state will allocate 5% of its 2025, 2026 and 2027 budget to support IDPs.
Mandunari is the worst community devastated by the Boko Haram insurgency in Yobe State, northeast Nigeria. Over the last 5 years, Yobe has successfully embarked on a rebuilding process to make life more meaningful for the returning residents of host communities. Part of this process will see the allocation of 5% of the state's next 3 budget cycles between 2025 and 2027 to support durable solutions for IDPs within the state, positioning Yobe to become the first in Nigeria to domesticate the national policy on internally displaced persons after 12 years.
I am therefore delighted to inform our partner that the Yobe State government commits to allocating 5% of its annual budget for a period of 3 years from 2025 to 2027 to support the implementation of durable solutions within the action plan. This is a demonstration of the administrative commitment to addressing this protracted displacement.
This proactive approach by Yobe State aligns with the United Nations Secretary General's agenda and the global imperative to effectively address displacement challenges.
As I welcome you all here today, let us be guided by tailoring the national policy on internally displaced persons to the specific needs of Yobe State, and with a focus and aspiration to respond to the UN Action Agenda call for durable solution. This will guide us to have a documented policy that will comprehensively address the immediate and long-term needs of IDPs and host communities within our state.
We talk a lot about durable solutions, and that's really, as has been said, coming from the people. You know, what working with the people, whether they return, whether they locally integrate, whether they relocate, and also working with all of the capacities, institutional and the people in Yobe, to really understand what is needed for that long-term approach, to come together with all actors and stakeholders and make sure that we build something that lasts.
Other donor partners in this project are the World Bank and the International Organization for Migration, who pledged to work with the Yobe State government and host communities to ensure displaced persons return to their ancestral homes in a dignified manner.
We've allocated some of our humble funding for this year and hopefully the 2 or 3 years to come to support durable solutions in Yobe State. As mentioned by our ambassador to His Excellency the Governor, we're also committed to support you in any way we can to increase the visibility of Yobe State as well. And we also have human resources available.
Meanwhile, the project coordinator, Solutions for the Internally Displaced and Host Communities, Dauda Suleiman, says collaboration with development partners will enable Yobe State clear strategies for the achievement of durable solutions.
The objective of this meeting, of course, there are critically 3. Number 1 is to adapt the national policy on IDP in the context and content of Yobe State. And then number 2 is to strengthen coordinations, because looking at the scope of IDP investment in the state, it involves a lot of stakeholders. It involves UN partners, it involves international organizations, it involves government at the state and federal level. So coordination is key. So part of the objective of the meeting is to also talk to ourselves. How can we strengthen coordination? And then, of course, number 3 is to build the capacity of the state officials for effective implementation of the action plan and the policy that we are going to develop.
Yobe State says it's keen into the federal government's national policy on IDPs enacted 12 years ago that makes provision for the protection of specific rights from displacement, protection and assistance, especially for women and children who are the most affected.
Deliberations on how to improve food security in the northwest and northeast regions of the country have commenced in Abuja. The discussion, which is led by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, aims to improve income of households in the region through the inclusive and sustainable value chain development as an enabler for rural transformation. Our correspondent, Sarah Achimogu, has this report.
These experts have converged to discuss the drive towards food security, nutrition and improved income for farmers. The International Fund for Agricultural Development is drawing representatives from the Northeast and the Northwest regions for the conversation tagged Value Chain North to address food shortages.
The current context, as indicated by the national authorities, both federal and state level, is marked by food insecurity and also by opportunities to be harnessed to grow the economy of the country, boost rural transformation, enhance income for smallholder farmers, generate jobs for youth and women.
The government of Nigeria and international donors are making concerted efforts to reduce poverty and food insecurity in these affected areas and boost modern farming methods so as to increase production and productivity, thereby enhancing market access and financial services.
Statistics from the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs shows that in 2024, Nigeria is expected to see about 26.5 million people grappling with high levels of food insecurity. Also, 9 million children are at the risk of suffering from acute malnutrition. Some of the officials of the benefiting states speak on the expected outcomes of the project.
The focus will be
enhancing food security. The focus will be addressing the issues of climate change by way of generating strategies for adaptation, for mitigation, for resilience. The focus will be that people get engaged regardless of the situation.
Most of our IDPs have been returned to their ancestral homes, and definitely they would like to get their lives back.
The targeted crops for the program are rice, millet, cowpea, and sorghum. Sarah Chimugu, Channels Television News.
In a bid to contribute to the wellness and health of Nigerians, Waka Community International Foundation has held its annual road walk in Lagos. The road walk, which is known as Let's Waka, is aimed at enlightening the public on the need to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
It's the second edition of Let's Waka, a health and wellness exercise in honor of a renowned medical doctor, Ade Alakija. The walk, organized by Waka Community International Foundation in collaboration with Q Life Family Clinic and Health Emergency Initiative, spans the Lekki-Ikoyi Link Bridge and Bodilian Road in Lagos. Let's Waka seeks to inform and educate Nigerians on the need to walk regularly, drink lots of water, and sleep adequately.
Waka Community International Foundation is simply committed to building a community of people who are leaner, fitter, healthier, and ultimately happier. Through walking, we call it wakaing, eating healthy in small portions, hydrating enough, that's very important, that we have to hydrate, drink lots of water, and get adequate sleep. I can't overemphasize that. Get adequate sleep.
Health professionals at the event advise people to take personal responsibility for their well-being.
We can take steps to ensure that we are in good health and not wait until we are ill. You see, let me paint this picture. Sometimes in Nigeria, what happens is that we're on a queue for when we'll see the doctor. So wait till we are ill, then we see a doctor, then you go back to the end of the queue and wait again till you are ill. But we want to change that narrative and change the perspective that people need to take responsibility for their health.
For the documents or flyers we shared here, highlights the importance of also paying attention to those who are ill but they are unable to afford their medical treatment across public hospitals. So part of this program is to raise awareness that there are also Nigerians who are unable to access basic health care. And this collaboration reinforces the need for all of us to join hands together to save lives.
Enjoy them, wear them, we're proud.
Walking seems to be the safest form of physical exercise, and Let's Waka believes it will make people stay healthy and productive.
Still ahead on the news at 10, how does it feel living to mark 100 years on Earth? We'll hear that from the chairman of Lishabi Mills, Mrs. Violet Ladipo. Plus, Nigeria's foreign exchange reserve pauses its 5-week accretion trend as the gross level dropped by $96.41 million week on week. And that's on Business News. Please stay with us.
There are 1,001 ways to start your day.
Whether you're in Lagos, Nigeria,
in London or anywhere in the world,
or online.
We all want a perfect start to our day, don't we?
7 a.m. Every weekday, we bring you a better way to start your day.
Welcome back. From running Lishabi Mills alone from age 37 to grooming successors in her children, Mrs. Violet Ladipo is happy to tell anyone that her secret is believing in God and staying focused. After her centenary celebration, our business correspondent, Ini John Mekwa, had a chat with Mrs. Ladipo at her home in Lagos.
After spending 100 years on Earth, that is over 36,500 days, Mama Violet Iyabode Ladipo still enjoys tending to her flowers and walks around unaided. Widowed at the age of 37, Mama Ladipo braves for the challenges of life, including raising 5 children and running the food processing company Lishabi Mills, which her husband had established. She became the managing director of Lishabi Mills in 1962, sent her 5 children to some of the best schools, both in Nigeria and overseas. Today, Lishabi Mills still remains a thriving family business in food processing. Sitting for a conversation with Mama is a rare opportunity to glean from a century-old experience.
If you want to do it, if God didn't give it to you, you won't be able to do it. Not by might, not by power, nothing. But determination. There were challenges, right, left, and center. But I don't see it because God has taken care of all that for me. That is how I see it, my dear. If the others are wearing the mask then, you know, the one they call teru, that thick material, if I put on my own, I feel satisfied.
Mama still stays abreast of economic issues and prices.
Oh, Ma, don't go to that area. Like they were telling me that rice, maybe they say 80 something when the person was telling me, Money, look, I'm not a rice eater. I'm not a rice eater. I eat whatever I want to eat, moderately the way I want it. How could rice in a country like this, we are by independence in 1960, Abi? Why can't we be up like other Kenya? But if that is the way God wanted it, to go through it and making it, but I know that one day we will all wake up and follow the right step.
But no matter what concerns there are, Mama believes that God will handle them. A reason she says she always has reasons to laugh. More laughter was shared on March the 21st when her family and friends came together for the centenary celebration. Ini John Mekwa, Channels Television News.
Glad to see Mama hale and hearty. And in Edo State, some young women are also changing the narrative in a male-dominated career, shoemaking. Some of them who have ventured into the business share their experiences in separate interviews with our correspondent Jessica Ologusere in Benin City, the Edo State capital.
Blessing and Olivia share a surname as their sisters. They also have something else in common, a passion for shoemaking. This shop around Gombe Road in the Edo State capital, Benin City, belongs to Olivia. She's older, but Blessing, who found this path at a younger age, trained to become a shoemaker and subsequently taught her older sister how to make shoes upon her graduation from a polytechnic.
I studied computer science, so I decided to learn the work because I like the work. So watching my sister do the work, I fell in love with the work, so I was interested. after the graduation, I just decided to learn from her.
Other young women have been introduced to the business. One of these two is currently an apprentice here. The other, Peace, has graduated after learning for a little over 1 year. Between the sisters, more shoemakers, they say, have been trained in the about 4 years they've been in the business. Blessing believes focus is a key requirement for anyone interested in learning.
I knew what I was looking for, what I want, so I was focused. So I would advise them to be focused, never to give up.
It's another business day, and here at Peace's shop, far from Olivia's, more designs are on display. She too is passionate about her craft.
I've been using cartoon to make palm, to use it to play around with other children. Until one day, I stepped on a nail and my mom scolded me for that. Since then, I've been wanting to do it myself. Even when I started with Olivia, my first practical work I did, I used carton to make 2 pairs of slippers.
Yet in another part of the city is Uzezi with her young trainees. Her love for shoemaking trumped her passion for football over 10 years ago. And these works, among the many she's produced, assure her it was a decision wisely made.
I was into football at the same time into this shoemaking. I was an apprentice then, So along the line, you have to choose one. You can't pursue the both at the same time, so I have to choose one. So the idea was, when I'm done with this, I'll go back to the other one. So I just focus on the shoemaking.
She has seen other young women overcome their family's concern about the opportunities in shoemaking.
Some of them will come with their parents. Where I fought before, they have that challenge. So their parents will be like, okay, take me to that place that you said you want to learn this skill from. So when they come, they just find it interesting, nothing else but okay, I concur to what my daughter said.
Seeing their finished work on clients' feet, the realization that they've empowered other young men and women, an ability to meet their personal needs from the business, bring them satisfaction. However, the desire to grow their businesses, acquire better equipment, and enjoy improved public power supply remains. Jessica Enugu State, Channels Television News.
Wildlife supports the ecosystem for the survival of human and other species. On March the 3rd, the United Nations marked World Wildlife Day with the theme Connecting People and the Planet, exploring digital innovation in wildlife conservation. But over the years, wildlife has faced several threats. The special report looks at the impact of wildlife trafficking on the nation's environment.
There has been a decline in Nigeria's wildlife population following the activities of wildlife traffickers. Some of the animals that are poached in Nigeria include pangolin, elephants, among others. This is threatening the balance of the ecosystem. Aside from the preservation of nature, wildlife plays a key role in revenue generation as well as employment opportunity for the country. According to the recent National Strategy for Combating Wildlife and Forest Crime, Nigeria is home to over 864 species of birds, 1,500 elephants, 117 amphibians, 203 reptiles, over 775 species of fish, among others. Early this year, the Minister of State for Environment, Mr. Ishaq Salako, met with the Director General of the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency and senior officials of the agencies to destroy confiscated wildlife stockpile worth over 9.9 billion naira for illegal shipment.
The 2.5 tons of ivory that is being crushed today in the open market is worth close to $10 billion. So you can see the kind of damage that has done to the economy and to the nature of our country.
This is a strong message that the government of Nigeria is giving to the rest of the world, that they're serious about their obligations under CITES and the fact that they no longer want to be considered a place where you can transit illegal wildlife products.
According to Nigeria, there are 4 wildlife poaching hubs in Africa. Nigeria majorly serves as transportation routes. The United Nations Office for Drug and Crime is putting together a report on the steps that can be taken to address wildlife trafficking. The report is expected to be presented to the federal government in May 2024.
We must recognize the critical importance of leveraging digital solutions to address the various challenges facing our planet ecosystem, notably combating illegal wildlife trade, mitigating habitat loss, tackling impact of climate change, among others.
The assessment found that Nigeria is a key transit hub and consolidation point for various forms of illegal trade in wildlife and forest products. These products are sourced both from Nigeria as well as from other countries in the region, including Cameroon, Gabon, the Central African Republic, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire, and the Benin Republic.
The United Nations set aside March 3rd of every year as the World Wildlife Day to highlight the need for the conservation of wildlife for the preservation of the nation's ecosystem.
Let's get the latest from the world of business. Laddie Williams has details.
Thanks, Melinda. In business news, Nigeria's foreign exchange reserves have reversed some of the gains recorded from its 5-week accretion as the gross level decreased by $96 million week on week to $34.32 billion as of March the 20th. According to a report from Quadra Securities, the drop comes amid the CBN's continued initiative at the forex market, which includes ensuring that Naira assets are attractive to foreign and domestic participants to drive capital importation, as well as increased interventions to help clear the last portion of prolonged forex backlog. Meanwhile, with the CBN expected to continue its FX intervention in the near term, analysts say they do not expect a substantial increase in the country's FX liquidity due to a relatively weak level of external buffers. And still with foreign exchange matters, trading at the FNDQ exchange closed positive this week as the total turnover of forex transactions carried out rose by 85% week on week to $1.64 billion as of March the 22nd. The week on week increase in the total turnover was driven by a 91%, about $783 million increase in FX spot turnover, despite a 100% or $26.16 million decrease in FX derivatives turnover. At the same time, lack of activity in both the exchange-traded futures and cleared Naira-settled non-deliverable forwards contributed to the decrease in derivatives segment. Meanwhile, at the Nigeria Thomas Foreign Exchange fixed market, the Naira appreciated by 85% to 1,504 Naira 58 kobo against the dollar at the official exchange rate window, in contrast to 1,607 Naira 38 kobo recorded in the previous week. And Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria has unveiled the final roadmap developed from exposure drafts on the floor of the exchange. The Executive Secretary, Chief Executive Officer of the Council, Dr. Rabi Olowo, says the roadmap is a tool of mainstreaming the implementation of sustainability reporting in Nigeria in phases in the areas of reporting and assurance with timelines.
The Nigerian Exchange Group is hosting the Chair, International Sustainability Standard Board, Mr. Emmanuel Father, in the presence of sectorial directors and other stakeholders who are mindful of the threats of climate change to sustainable living in not just Nigeria, but the world at large. Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria is at the fore of this, and it aims to attract funding for the transitions required in managing climate change.
Just speaking the same language. That is the only way we will in Nigeria be able to attract more global capital, because that global capital is going to speak our language. If we are in Nigeria becoming the most transparent supply chain, the most credible because we have appropriate metrics to describe what is an inclusive supply chain, a deforestation-free supply chain, a regenerative agriculture supply chain, a carbon sinking supply chain. We will be in Nigeria benefiting most also from those European companies that are going to need to invest in their supply chain to make sure that that supply chain is EU ready.
The highlight of the meeting is the unveiling of the roadmap report, which asserts Nigeria's leadership role in the adoption of ISSB's sustainability standards. The Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, Dr. Rabiolowo, is on hand to take the message to businesses.
And governance, they were business non-essential. About 10 years ago, we began to see businesses, adopting this as a good to have. Today, we see it as a responsible business practice, but we are moving into the next phase, which is the phase of the future, whereby we'll make sustainability issues mandatory for businesses because we've seen the benefit that will come. Today, about 3% of global green finance finds its way to Africa, and even less so for Nigeria. And unless we begin to speak the language of sustainability, which is a global baseline, whereby we can document business performance, not just by numbers and figures, but on how companies and businesses impact the society.
With moves like this, the FRCN believes that the country will retain the fundamentals as the largest on the continent and be the hub for investment in the ongoing sustainability-related developments.
And the domestic stock market ended the third trading week of March in the red, no thanks to profit-taking on some bellwether stocks, particularly the shares of MTN Nigeria. As a result, the market's main index fell by 0.40%, bringing the month and year-to-date performance to 4.7% and 40% accordingly. However, sectoral performance of listed equities was largely positive, except for the consumer goods counter, which dropped by 0.37% for the week. Julie PLC topped the list of 50 gainers with a 46.10% price appreciation, while Julius Berger led 31 other losers, down by 17.15%, while the trio of UBA, FBN Holdings, and Access Holding Company were the top three contributors to a total of 1.73 billion equities traded this week. And that's it on Business News. Back to Melinda with sports.
Many thanks, Ladi. The curtain has fallen on the 13th edition of the African Games held in Ghana. North African powerhouse Egypt emerged victorious after winning 101 gold, 46 silver, and 42 bronze, with a total of 189 medals. Team Nigeria had an impressive run, finishing in the second spot with 47 gold, 33 silver, and 40 bronze medals, a total of 120. South Africa, Algeria, and Tunisia were third, fourth, and fifth, respectively. Host Ghana ended up in the sixth position. Thousands of volunteers chosen for this summer's Olympics and Paralympics gather for a convention at the Defense Center in Paris Arena, where swimming and water polo events will be held during the Games. The volunteers are given a sneak peek of the uniform they will spot during a presentation attended by the Paris 2024 Organizing Committee President. The volunteers will enjoy benefits such as free entry to the Games, free transportation, free meals, and other perks.
Yeah, we want to thank them to be part of this project, and we are part of the same team now. So it was important for me to wear the uniform, to tell them that it is very nice, is very good to wear also, and I'm happy to share it and to share this project with them. Yeah, I think it was important to have a uniform that it is easily recognizable for anybody who will come and participate to the Games. So we are happy also to have this kind of La Marinière, which is part also of the fashion of France. So it's great that they could find a good way to have the different objectives to be successful.
Many personalities from the world of sports gathered to attend the inauguration of the athletic stadium, which now bears the name of the former Olympic star Marie-Josée Pérec. Surrounded by many friends, most of whom from the sporting world, the triple Olympic champion and double world champion did not hide her pride as seeing her name displayed on the state-of-the-art sports installation. The triple Olympic champion from Guadeloupe is excited with the honor bestowed on her.
Voilà, regardez, magnifique.
Teenage star Endrick was the hero as Brazil beat England 1-0 in a high-profile friendly played at Wembley. The visitors named 5 debutants in the starting lineup for coach Dorival Jr.'s first match in charge, and the Seleco had the better of the chances in the game. Vinicius Jr. had a shot cleared off the line by Kyle Walker, while West Ham's Lucas Paqueta chipped the woodwork. England's best opening fell to Oli Watkins, but he drilled over under pressure. Max Verstappen fended off a fierce challenge from the returning Carlos Sainz to maintain his perfect start to the 2024 season in the Australian Grand Prix qualifying. Verstappen made it 3 poles from 3 at the start of the new season with a best lap to tee up his pursuit at matching his own record of 10 successive race wins. Well, the world champion had to overcome Ferrari's impressive Carlos, who has returned to action just 2 weeks after the appendix surgery which kept him out of the Saudi Arabian GP. On the international scene, at least 133 people have died and over 140 injured after gunmen attacked the Crocus City Hall on the outskirts of Moscow during a packed concert. Russian President Vladimir Putin says all the suspects have been arrested while trying to flee to Ukraine. However, the Islamic State is claiming credit for the attack.
Images of mayhem just after the attack on the Crocus City Hall, which resulted in a huge fire. Rescue workers hurried to put out the massive blaze from the air and on the ground. With most of the inferno out, it's time to clear the debris. And at least 133 bodies from the scene.
Жертвами которого стали десятки мирных.
President Vladimir Putin says all 4 attackers were apprehended, trying to escape to Ukraine, even as ISIS claims they are responsible. Ukraine denies involvement.
Obviously, we've all seen the...
Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department is warning its citizens in Russia to stay away from large gatherings.
Hopefully you saw our the State Department, our embassy there, put out a notice to all Americans in Moscow to avoid any large gathering, concerts, obviously shopping malls, anything like that, just for their own safety. They should stay put where they are and stay plugged into the State Department for any additional updates and information.
The Russian president is calling the attack a barbaric terrorist act and has declared Sunday, March 24th, a national day of mourning for the victims of the attack.
Catherine, Princess of Wales, has announced that she has been diagnosed with cancer and is in the early stages of chemotherapy, asking for time, space, and privacy as she completes her treatment. Kate, as she is widely referred to, said the discovery of cancer after successful abdominal surgery in January was a huge shock, but sends a positive message that she is well and getting stronger daily. In a video statement, the 42-year-old princess did not disclose the exact nature of the cancer, but described the last few months since she went into hospital as incredibly tough for her and her family. And the main news again. Governor Hyacinthe earlier today suspended all mining activities to curb a rising insecurity in Benue. This came as the government inaugurated marshals for the revalidation of all legal miners in the state. And Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State has held a town hall meeting with residents where he pledged to provide inclusive governance as his administration strives to transform the state. That's the news at 10 tonight. I'm Melinda Akinlami on behalf of the team. Good night.